Patrick takes the snap, drops back, lobs it back right corner. Decker! He's got it! Touchdown! Eric Decker scores! And the Jets have won it in overtime!
This is the Jet Take with Ben Blessington and Kyle Fahey.
Welcome back to another episode of the Jet Take. I'm going to first off apologize for my audio quality right now. Kyle and I have spent the last 20 to 25 minutes trying to get my internet to work, or I guess it's okay. And we'll see if it kicks back in the middle of the episode. Then I'm going to switch back to my normal mic. But right now I'm just calling in from a phone and headphones. But besides that, you're listening to the Jet Take. I'm your host Ben Blessington with my esteemed co-host Kyle Fahey. Kyle, how you doing, man?
What'd you say, Ben? I'm having trouble hearing you. I'm doing well though. I'm pretty sure that's what. Yeah. I'm doing well. The golden child, Calvin Pryor, is gone. The silver child, Demario Davis, is back, and we got some bold predictions on deck.
Yeah, it's going to be an interesting show. Kyle and I have compiled a list of our predictions for the 2017 season. This could be anything from stats to player performance. To what color uniforms we'll wear, I don't know. It could be anything.
That sounds like a lazy one.
2017. Yeah, we're wearing green and white. That's my prediction. But,
yeah.
So we got that on deck. We're going to discuss the Calvin Pryor for Demario Davis trade and give our side of the argument. I'm not really sure how it stands because we haven't had too much time to discuss it. But we're going to discuss it in just a minute. In other news, it's continuing OTAs. There's stuff to talk about with Hackenberg's progress. There's a nice article written that had basically all of them, a lot of different teammates, offensive and defensive players from the Jets, giving their take on how Hackenberg has progressed. Granted, it is May now July, now June.
Wow.
We're just at OTAs, but we're not going to really know.
Maybe you're a little behind on your internet bills, Ben. Maybe that's why it's not connecting right now. You don't know what month it is.
I know what month it is. It was just May, now it's June. And then the other thing the Jets did today was they signed Shamarko Thomas, a defensive back from the Steelers, with a defensive back for Syracuse. So we'll talk a little bit about that as well. As always, you can follow us at the Jet Take on Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, iTunes, pretty much any other podcatcher, iHeartRadio, Google Play, Stitcher. We're all over the place. All right, well, with that, we'll get right into it. Kyle, earlier I guess it was in the hours of the morning because I woke up and it was on my phone. Jets safety Calvin Pryor for former inside linebacker Demario Davis. Your take on the trade?
Oh, well, Ben, you're a busy man. You're still in school. I'm on summer break, so I had some time to write an article, sit down, write an article for my Jets fans today. Shout out to Jay. Gave me an opportunity. Thanks to him. I love this trade. I really do. I think it's a win-win for the Jets. There's really no losing in this scenario. The way I'm looking at this is we got rid of the guy who was going to bench ride for us basically the whole year, an exception to maybe second down and when they're predicting a run, because that's all he can do. He's a box safety. And in return, we got a defender who is also best against the run. He's poor against the pass. Obviously he was with the Jets for 4 years. He's been a Jet his whole career basically, except into the 1 year at the Browns. But he got more tackles than David Harris last year. He had more sacks. He started more games. He's only 28 years old, and his contract is not guaranteed whatsoever. Worst comes to worst, if he comes in, he sucks, we can just cut him with, there's no problem. It's not a big deal. I mean, he'll probably get, in trouble in the tabloids. They'll be saying, oh, you wasted Calvin Pryor, you could have kept him. But there's really no losing here. We got a guy who knows the system, he's young, and he's productive. For a guy who's going to do none of those except be young.
Yeah, and Kyle, this does not happen very often, but I actually agree with you.
Whoa!
I know.
Ben's on the THC out in Oregon right now.
Well, I was given on our brief conversation, I thought you were going to say you didn't like it, but no, for a lot of the reasons you said and some more, I think this trade was a good trade for the Jets. It's funny, I was literally thinking yesterday because I was bored in math class, and I was writing down just the Jets doing. I know. Real committed.
Yes. Oh,
right
commitment
there.
issues. Commitment issues rise again, Ben.
I think it's more of a work.
Inside joke.
All right. Yeah. I went through hell to get to this episode, Kyle. You can't diss me for this one. But no, I mean, I was really saying yesterday how the Jets really have a big weakness at inside linebacker that nobody was talking about. David Harris is getting up there in age. His production has obviously slipped from the once really productive linebacker that he was. Now, of course, he's still a very solid guy against the run. But again, he's showing his age. He's a little slower. He's not that great against the pass. However, what he does bring is he's the veteran leader of that defense. He's a silent leader. He shows by example. Then we have Darren Lee, the first-round draft pick from last year, who definitely showed some potential, but definitely had his weaknesses. I thought that he was going to come in and be a very good pass defending linebacker at the very least, and he didn't even do that last year. He blew a lot of different coverages. You would think with his speed, his size, that he would be a different type of linebacker than the Jets are used to, but he did not display it. However, he showed potential to at least cover it because, that speed, that quickness, and that athleticism isn't something you can teach. A lot of his mistakes were just mental mistakes. So, I mean, we were basically riding on his improvement as well. And I do think Darren Lee will have a much better year this year than last year, but, I mean, it was a lot to ride on that. And then you look after that, I mean, it was Bruce Carter, who was a veteran backup linebacker, nobody pretty much. He had an okay season last year for what we expected, but I mean, he's not, anything. So God forbid one of those two guys goes down, you're not.
Yeah, we're screwed.
Carter. Yeah, I mean, like it's always thinking, well, do they try to move? Do they try to play one of their outside linebackers, slide him over to middle linebacker? Do we try to bring back Tywan Jones? I don't even know where he is.
We should. He liked my tweet the other day. Did you see that?
Yeah, I saw your little film. You did a little screen grab.
Did a little breakdown. Do what I do.
Yeah. And he, anyway, so I was like, I mean, what are the Jets going to do? I mean, I guess that's probably when a young undrafted guy would come up big. But, no, I like this trade. I think Rontez Miles fits better as the third safety for the Jets. He was more productive than Calvin Pryor was last year. It just doesn't have as big as the names. He contributes on special teams. He flies around like a bullet. So I really liked Rontez Miles, and I was worried about where his role was going to be if Calvin was going to take the third safety role. Calvin was obviously a problem.
And a couple other guys we have back there. We have a couple other. Doug Middleton. We still got to worry about him. We still got Ronald Martin. Is it Ronald Martin on the roster?
Yes, Ronald Martin's still on the roster. And then I guess Shamarko Thomas is the guy we just signed today. And then we signed Corey White a few weeks ago.
Yeah, Shamarko Thomas is basically Calvin Pryor. I'm just putting that's exactly Calvin Pryor, except he wasn't a first-round pick. He's a box safety.
Calvin showed that he kind of plateaued last year. He went down last year, actually. But he plateaued in his skill set. Because, I mean, look, he was really only effective in the box. In 2015, he had a nice year. He laid a lot of big hits. He was a disruptor in the box. But, I mean, he still showed his coverage issues. And then this year, the coverage issues were very prevalent. I mean, he fell down a few times. And then he was not dominating as much in the box. So I think it was good. Now, neither of us are in the locker room, and nobody really knows how he was. But the report is that he was a problem in the locker room. He definitely the Jets are definitely trying to change their culture. You wrote a little bit about this this past week on our blog page about how the Jets are changing their culture slowly. And I think this is a good move. You get rid of him. You bring in a guy who's going to be your third inside linebacker and a guy who had more production than our starter did last year. He knows the system. The other thing Amari Davis brings is he's a leader. He's a vocal leader, unlike David Harris, who is a good leader in his own right. Amari Davis is a very vocal leader. Even in 2015, when he was not getting the playing time he probably wanted, he was still the guy leading in the pregame huddles and firing the guys up. So he's definitely a leader for the locker room. He's a veteran. He knows the system. He knows Todd Bowles' system since he played there. He's a Jet, and he's only 28, non-guaranteed contract. I mean, it's a win-win for the Jets. If he's not good, they can cut him, but I don't think that's going to happen. I'm very happy to see him back. I mean, Amari Davis is a bit of a fan favorite and a locker room favorite, so it's a good move. And then we're getting rid of a safety who had a lot of potential, but who was a problem in the locker room and didn't really contribute on the field that much in 2014 or 2016.
Yeah, and, the funny thing is, I was playing Madden yesterday with my friend Zach, who's actually a listener of the show. He's a Dolphins fan. So, Zach, when you hear this, whenever it gets uploaded, thanks for listening. And he can attest to this. We were playing Madden, playing some draft champs, and for those who know Madden, in draft champs, they give you the base gold team that you try to build off of. But anyway, one of the base linebackers they give you is Demario Davis. It's like third quarter or something. He was beating me pretty good, and he was using Demario Davis, and he picked me off. He goes, Demario Davis, a Jet, because, I guess in the photo they have on Madden, it's him in a Jets uniform because he's such a, worthless player, basically, in the eyes of EA that they didn't even change his photo. And
no,
anyway.
They made the card. They made the card before the season, so.
Well, why would he had preseason? They could have done it. They could have updated it at some point, Ben. They are lazy.
Okay. Well,
they don't even update the roster, but off topic. So he picks me off, and he goes, Demario Davis, a Jet. I go, no, he sucks. We let him go. He's like, well, he just picked you off. And I was up till 2 o'clock playing Madden last night. So I didn't even wake up till 11 today. And it's just Jets have traded Calvin Pryor for Demario Davis. And I'm like, you're got to be effing kidding me right now. Are you kidding? Are you serious right now? I snapped out immediately. I'm like, this can't be real. He's like, yeah, I feel bad for you already. So it was an eventful morning.
Yeah, I mean, on the surface, I was a little confused at first, but if you really think about it and what he brings to the team, I think it's a solid move.
That meme of the Heat player, he's on the bench, and he's, they got blown out, and he's looking down, and then he's thinking of it, and then he's like, oh, well, damn, this actually kind of works out. That was my exact reaction to this.
Because the exact meme you're talking about.
Yeah, because I like DMJ. I'm like, hey, I want dibs on this. I want to write about it. And I'm writing about it. I'm like, oh, he was actually a lot better than the guys we had last year. So this might pan out for us.
Yeah, I think it's a solid move. All right. Anything you want to touch on Shamarko Thomas addition? I know you said briefly that he's basically just baby Calvin Pryor. Is he bigger? He's not better. Oh, okay. I'm just saying, as far as their skill set, they're very similar. But I think it's a solid signing. He's an athlete. He's a big guy, fast guy. At least on special teams, I think he'll be a solid addition if he makes the team. All right, well, Kyle.
Last comments. Posted a takeoff this morning with Drew Greer and Chris Kruger, the boys from the Rockbauer Report, good friends of mine. We talked about, our Darius Stewart, what he brings to the team. And Ben, like I said, you're a busy man. You probably haven't watched it. I don't want to spoil it too much. I'll just, I'll paraphrase exactly what Drew said. Drew, by the way, is a huge Alabama Crimson Tide fan, which is the reason I had him on. Not only was he giving me a perspective from a Bills fan, but also an Alabama fan. He's watched this guy for the 3 years that he was there. He told me straight up that Darius Stewart may be the best thing the Jets have ever done, and that his pro comparison for him is Anquan Bolden. Not as big, but as a player, that's what he's going to do for you. He's going to be a solid number two. He's going to be a great blocker. And when Drew, he was a little bit buzzed, not going to lie. He had a couple loggerheads in front of him, but I think he meant that sincerely. He was saying he would have took him in the second round instead of Zay Jones, which the Bills did. So go watch that on YouTube if you guys haven't yet. It's already up to 50, views. We usually get 250. So you guys got to step it up. But thank you for the support on there. And I also released an article on our Darius Stewart on the Jet Take Libsyn. We tweeted that out multiple times. Thank you guys for all the support on that one too. So shameless promoting for me, Ben. My career before yours.
Well, all right then. Kyle, we'll talk a little bit about our Darius Stewart in a second because he does come up in this next thing we're going to do. And we're going to spend most of the show doing this, and we'll involve some callers and stuff. As far as that Anquan Bolden comparison, I have seen that before, and I think that is his ceiling right there. I think a very physical receiver for Jets fans, and we're going to talk about this in a second. I like to compare him to. I think he's going to be a Jericho Cotchery type receiver for the Jets. A number 3, number 2 guy. He's going to dominate in the slot over the middle. Good hands, good third down receiver. Very
yard after catch
blocker.
Guy. That's big. Yard after catch guy.
Yeah, I think he's going to be I think he'll be a very solid addition for the Jets. But we're going to talk about that in a second. Kyle, you and I have compiled a solid list of our predictions for 2017 as we talked about earlier. So
let's not say solid. Let's not say solid. I feel like
the weak list. We will come back to these.
It's like Ben's internet. It depends.
Depends on the day. We will come back to these at the end of the year and review some of our predictions. Kyle, and you want to do that?
Oh, I didn't agree to that. I think we need a contract for that.
Oh, okay. Well, Kyle, I would like to give you the floor. You can offer your first prediction, your first bold statement, first take for 2017, and then we will discuss. So fire away.
I have a question. I kind of just did these in order of positions that I thought of. It's in no order of boldness.
Okay. Just you can read off whatever one you want.
Okay.
Mine's not easy. I just put it in my notes and just started.
Yeah, I just when I was going by position, I was like, all right, Decker. Yeah. So, number one, like I said, these are just by position, how I thought of them. I don't know why I went wide receiver first. First bold prediction: Decker will end up being the number 2 wide receiver by the end of the year.
Isn't he already technically the number 2 wide receiver?
No.
You don't think Newell will play the big Marshall role?
No. At least not to start the year.
So you're saying Decker, who is a proven better as a number 2 or number 3. Okay, fine. I'll offer my prediction because I actually have one.
Well, he's just a better receiver.
Week 1, I think the 3 receivers, barring Robbie Anderson getting suspended or whatever, I think it'll be Nunwa and Anderson outside with Decker in the slot. So I think Decker's still our best receiver. It's going to be. I hope it will be close between him and Nunwa. But I think to say he's going to be the number 2 receiver by the end of the year. Are you saying that Nunwa will then be the best receiver on the roster? Because even if Decker plays outside, he's going to play number 2. And I think Decker will play a lot of the time outside. But I'm just saying, I think you'll see a lot of Anderson and Decker splitting on the outside because I think Anderson brings is a good solid rookie. Yes.
Here's the thing about Robbie Anderson. Drew brought this up last night when we were talking about it. It's also in the video. He made a great point to say John Morton doesn't really do what Robbie Anderson does best. I don't think we're going to see a lot of Robbie Anderson this year, if I'm going to be honest.
Why? What specifically does John Morton do that Robbie Anderson?
Robbie Anderson can't block. First of all, he can't block as a receiver. We've seen it. He's not big enough to do it. So immediately take away reps for him just because of that. 2, based off of last year, I know, as a rookie, maybe he didn't know the whole playbook yet, and obviously he basically was running with a crutch with our quarterback situation, but everything that I saw out of him, that was basically a 9 route, a go route, maybe a slant once in a while. And in the preseason, I remember multiple times where he alligator armed going over the middle. I don't even know if he's comfortable to do that. So just based on what Robbie has showed me off of, the past year and what I know for John Morton's offense to do, he doesn't throw a lot of deep balls, and I don't expect him to this year because Josh McCown doesn't have great arm strength. And, the young guys, they have great arm strength, but I don't know if they're going to be necessarily comfortable enough to do it. So I'm just saying Robbie Anderson, I don't think he's going to see the snaps that we expect him to, which actually ties into my next bold prediction, if I can go ahead with that.
Well, okay, in a second. Well, what I will say for this is
Hey, David's here.
As the producer has finally decided to make his appearance.
Hey, today's his birthday, and he was at a concert. He was blowing his clarinet for his school.
No way.
Yeah. I thought the same thing. I go, so what are you doing at your school? He goes, yeah, I'm in the band. And I go, what do you play? He goes, clarinet. And I told him right away I'm photoshopping something.
Wait,
hold on. We got
co-host Kyle Fahy.
David.
Very mature.
Happy birthday, buddy.
Kyle, this is what the listeners are complaining about.
Hey.
How you doing, guys?
We're gonna sing him happy birthday, and then David will mute you again. And
no, we're not. We'll say happy birthday.
Ben, don't be a jerk. Don't be. This is bad podcasting. Bad podcasting.
Look at it.
I don't know what that is. I'm gonna mute him. That got scary very quickly.
Something to himself. Okay, let's bring it back to the. We will wish David a happy birthday.
We will sing David happy birthday. We will sing it. I'm gonna sing it.
All right, have fun with that. No, okay, my point is I think John Morton will find a role for Robbie Anderson. The Jets have not had a rookie wide receiver put up that much production.
He would have won Rookie of the Year, by the way, if we didn't have a quarterback. Just putting that out there.
We did. He would have definitely not over Ezekiel Elliott or Dak Prescott, but he would definitely would have been considered. He had one of the most productive seasons that the Jets rookie receivers ever had, so he'll find a role. The Jets have a dearth of young, talented players, and Robbie Anderson is showing the potential to do that. So the Jets aren't just going to cast that aside. I do agree with you that I think he isn't as good as a blocker. I mean, his frame is, I think he's 6'3", 190 pounds, so he's rail thin. But I think when the Jets go...
I'm pretty sure me and you could fight him then, honestly. How tall are you?
No. Fight a police officer?
No, the police officer fought him.
That's odd. No, I'm 5'10". How about you?
Is it the cop's white? Is it odd? Whoa! Did I just start a race war? My bad.
Oh no. Okay. No, but as far as Robbie Anderson goes, I think he'll have a role in the team. I think when the Jets go 3 wide, I think he'll be on the outside with Enunwa and Decker in the middle. I think you could also see if the Jets are going. If the Jets want to put Decker on the outside, you could see Enunwa, Decker, and then Ardarius Stewart in the slot, because I don't think Robbie Anderson is that good of a slot receiver. He hasn't developed his route running, and his hands aren't that good yet. He's not a big physical strong receiver like Ardarius Stewart, and I think that's what he brings. So I think you'll see a lot of time of Ardarius Stewart in the slot when Decker goes out wide. And assuming Enunwa's still in. But the Jets have a lot of different. The Jets have a lot of different wide receivers. It's going to be fun.
Yeah, we have a lot of talent.
Mixes.
Don't sleep on KD Cannon too.
But I will say this really quickly, and then we'll keep talking. It does hinge on Quincy Enunwa being able to become the next, Brandon Marshall, the number one wide receiver. Yeah,
huge.
I mean, because if he's not able to do that, then it's like, okay, well, now you have 2 number 2s, basically. Robbie Anderson is pretty much just what Devin Smith was supposed to be, an outside receiver, a deep threat, a fast guy who can give them an end around. But then the Jets still don't have their big number 1, unless Chad Hansen can develop into that. But really,
no way in hell. No way.
But if Quincy Enunwa can be that Brandon Marshall, if Quincy Enunwa can be that Brandon Marshall type receiver, I think you're going to see the Jets wide receiving corps flourish no matter who's the quarterback.
All right, last thing before we go to the callers, because we actually have a couple callers on the line now. Sharon Peak fits exactly what John Morton does. Blocker, big body, going to go up and get that catch. Decent speed for his size. Can we see him getting more reps?
I really like Sharon Peak. As far as
I do too.
Now, my prediction of who will make the team. I think we're gonna have obviously Enunwa, Decker, Robbie Anderson, Ardarius Stewart, Chad Hansen, and
Sharon Peak.
And then that's your 6. And I think the 7th one will be that whoever can contribute on special teams.
Quentin Patton, probably.
I mean, it could be Quentin Patton. It could be KD Cannon. If Bristly Esteem didn't get hurt, I would maybe mention a guy like him. You could look out for Gabe Marks. But I think there will be another, in quotes, Robbie Anderson during the preseason, a guy who will come out and show that he can be. The Jets have a lot of talent as an undrafted wide receiver, and I think whoever can contribute as a returner or has a Robbie Anderson type preseason, I think they'll be the 7th receiver. But I do think the Jets will take 7 wide receivers, just because, I mean, if they are all about best players,
we're not trying to win this.
They have a lot of talent there.
Yeah,
so,
we're just trying to develop players. All right, want me to introduce or do your job?
Well, you didn't send me the caller list. I believe it's Ryan's on the line, if I'm not mistaken.
Ryan, number 1. Thanks for coming on, man. Sorry to keep you waiting. You were... Damn it, David. Come on, man. This is...
David, I'm serious. Please stop slaying the soundbites.
David, seriously? You'll be fired. No, I'm joking. Joking. We love you.
I'm a Robbie Anderson you. Okay.
Whoa.
I'm a Terrell Revis.
Questionable joke, man. Questionable. Ryan, thanks for coming on. You were here before Ben was. We were waiting a little bit, some technical difficulties.
Not for my lack of trying, but okay.
Well, only God knows, Ben. Only God knows. Ryan, you've been on for like 30 minutes, man. Thank you so much for waiting. First of all, how are you doing?
I'm good. How are you guys?
Doing well. Ben sounds a little fuzzy. But let's jump right into it. What are your thoughts on this trade? You said you read my article. You proved it to me true. Thank you for that, because there is a competition. Like, apparently I get, like, a T-shirt if I get the most views. So I bought, like, a bunch of bots to clickbait it, but you definitely helped. That helps me sleep at night, knowing there are actually humans reading it. So what are your thoughts on this trade?
I'm basically thinking what you're thinking. We were about to, Adam Schefter said we were about to release Calvin Pryor anyway. So,
Shefty report. Gotta love it.
It's a win-win situation, Obviously, when we drafted 2 safeties in the first 2 rounds, you knew that, the coaches were done with Calvin Pryor. It was just a matter of when. And, Romero Davis, is he a good player? He's okay. He's not great, but neither is Calvin Pryor. So we can dump Davis if he's terrible. Save all that cap. It's not a big deal.
Yep.
And but I do think he'll make the team. Definitely inside linebacker is a position to need. Definitely need depth there for Harris is on his way out too, his last year. So it's not a bad thing. I like the move.
Yeah, you definitely read my article. That was way too well phrased. You had to read my article.
Happy birthday, David.
For your display of arrogance.
Shout out.
Well, Ryan, we're gonna
he just totally skipped over David's birthday shout out for him. Come on, man. Ryan said happy birthday.
Yeah, happy birthday, David.
It's the phone. It's really complicated. Sorry,
yeah,
Ryan.
blame it on the phone. Oh, I didn't get your message from 3 years ago. Sorry about that. Yeah, awkward now, isn't it?
All right, now it's just awkward. Well, wait.
Yep.
Sorry, I cut Ryan off earlier, but let's get into some predictions. We can keep going. I'll give my first prediction for 2017, and I said this first part isn't very bold, but I think that Marcus May and Jamal Adams will definitely have some growing pains early on in the season. However, I think Jamal Adams will separate himself as one of the top elite safeties. Meanwhile, Marcus May, I think, will definitely struggle his rookie year. Kind of like Darren Lee, where there'll be flashes of potential, but definitely a lot of times where it's like mental mistake or something like that. That's my prediction for the safety tandem. That Jamal, they'll both struggle a bit at the beginning. Jamal Adams will separate himself, and Marcus May will be a little more iffy. So I guess Ryan, we'll start with you. What are your thoughts on that possibility?
It's definitely a good possibility. Most likely now, especially after the Pryor trade, it looks like we're going to be starting both Adams and May. So definitely see growing pains, but I'm going to predict that Jamal Adams wins Defensive Rookie of the Year.
Ooh. In my spoiler. In my bold predictions, I had it was supposed to be later on in the show, but I say number 19, Jamal Adams makes Pro Bowl. Bold prediction. So he very well could. Honestly, I think Jamal Adams is just one of those very rare, very, very rare talents, and he fell right into our hands, and I just couldn't be happier.
What are your thoughts on the possibility of Marcus May struggling, Kyle? I mean, you're a Florida Gators fan, so
yeah.
I know you like May, but give your take.
I don't think May's going to struggle like people says he is. He has those ball hawk tendencies, but he can also come up and make a hit. I don't see why somebody. The one thing that people are focusing on, there are 2 clips. One, O.J. Howard burned him in the end zone. But, there wasn't even a touchdown or anything because Jalen Hurts isn't really a quarterback. He's an athlete, so he didn't even throw it to him. But he got burnt. That piece of film was a little problematic. And he also missed a tackle in the Iowa game, I'm sorry, not the Iowa game. He missed a big tackle in a game, and it gave up a first down. If you're like, oh, he doesn't have great lateral quickness because he couldn't move fast enough to really make the tackle. And those are the 2 things people are. I'll look that clip up because it's bothering me. But I don't think he's going to be problematic like other people think he is. I think especially with him being behind Morris Claiborne, I think he's a good corner. I think he'll handle most people. I don't think that they're going to ask.
Healthy.
Big if. But I just don't think he's going to struggle. Ryan, your take?
I mean, we'll see what happens, but I mean, his teammate Neal came out last year, obviously one of the Falcons, and had a pretty good year.
Yep.
I think very similar. And if you listen to, was it Quincy Wilson or one of them said that May was the leader there in Florida. So I don't really expect them to struggle too much. I expect the safety duo. I mean, will they go through growing pains? Of course, but I'm not expecting them to be like the secondary we had last year. I'm expecting like significant upgrade in that secondary. So I think they'll be solid, but there'll definitely be room to grow, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, absolutely. And I'll say as a Gator fan, Marcus May was our vocal leader. Like, we had a pretty successful year last year. Almost every week, they were doing like those Rex Ryan styles, after the game speeches. It was always Marcus May, Tease Tabor, he was definitely in there. He was a vocal guy. But it was primarily Marcus May. He was a captain. He was the leader of that team. And that dude is tough. All right, he is a dog. He is a fighter. Everything you hear about him, it's true. That dude tried to play with a broken arm in the bowl game. That's how tough that dude. He almost actually got in. He almost got cleared. He broke his arm in half like 6 weeks before the bowl game, and he missed the back end. He missed the Alabama game, he missed one of the games, but he's the fighter.
Well, yeah, and the one thing you have to remember about him, May and Adams being two pretty big vocal leaders is, Kyle, again, you wrote about it, is the culture change for the Jets. I think it's going to really help this environment to have two young stud leaders as on our back end. I think that's really going to be a positive thing. May, I think he will struggle a little bit making some mental mistakes, but I think he'll show enough that it's enough potential. Likely he'll have plays where it's like, geez, Marcus May with a great break on the ball or a terrific
cut him immediately.
Great interception, but then I think he'll also get burned or he'll fall down. So there will be some growing pains, and that's expected. I just think May will have more than Adams, but I still think May will show enough. My next prediction, actually, Kyle, do you want to give one or you want to go back to me? I don't know if we're going to get through all of ours. We might have to do another set of these in our next episode, but we'll just keep going.
Intrigue.
Kyle, do you want to give your next one, or do you want me to go?
I'll stick with the Marcus May thing because that's actually number 20. Marcus May gets 3 interceptions this year.
Yeah, I like that. I think for sure I actually didn't do interceptions for the two safeties, but if I were to do it off the top of my head, I think that's a definitely. I would say Jamal Adams would get 3 and Marcus May is going to get 4. Even though I say Marcus May is going to struggle more, I think just because he's more of the free safety, I think he'll have more opportunities to get an interception. And even Marcus Gilchrist got 2 or 3 interceptions last year. And I think May will have plays where he makes great breaks on the ball. And I think Jamal Adams will also find his way. But I think the Jets rookie safeties will combine for 7 or more interceptions, which I think is a pretty cool thing that the Jets have not had in a long time.
Yeah, the Jets. And I believe we talked about it a couple episodes ago, but when's the last time the Jets really had a good safety?
You could say Kerry Rhodes, maybe.
Yeah, what was that, like 2007?
Jim Leonard, I think we could say. He wasn't amazing, but when he got hurt, it was noticeable. So I would say that was the last time that we had a really good. He was the quarterback of the defense.
Yeah, I always love that quote. Quarterback of the defense. That one's always great. Yeah.
Well, yeah, I guess we'll keep it going with my next prediction. And Ryan, we're going to get you involved in this one. Get your take. I said Bilal Powell will have 1,500 total yards of offense. And last year, to give you reference, he had just a bit over 1,100. So 400 more yards. And if I'm going to go in specific, I think he'll be a 1,000-yard rusher. So I think he'll have 1,000 yards and then,
Wait, who is this? Bilal Powell?
Yeah, so I think he'll have 1,500 total yards of offense. And if I were to hedge my bets, I would say I think he's going to be a 1,000-yard rusher because he had 722 yards last year, and he barely did anything. You think about it, he didn't really get playing time.
Ben accuses Bilal Powell of not trying.
No. I'm saying he wasn't getting playing time in the last 4 or 5 games of the year. Think about it. They overused Matt Forte for a large majority of the season. Then when Forte got hurt, Powell got his chance. If Powell, I don't expect Powell to have the same type of explosiveness through a 16-game season if he's playing that much, because part of what makes Powell so good is he's so explosive and he's like a giant ball of energy. I mean, he gets the ball and he just takes off. That's hard for an NFL running back to sustain over 16 games.
Spin zone.
Powell is definitely more powerful coming off the bench or in a situation like last year. But I still think he showed enough where, and I mean, obviously he saw some durability issues. I mean, by his third or fourth game, he was already limping and when he was running and stuff. But I think when he's on the field, I think he'll be a very solid rusher for the Jets last year. I think he will lead the team in carries, obviously, if he stays healthy. So I'll say 15 start the total offense.
Actually, I have something similar to that in my bold predictions. It's not that much, like as much as you said, but I said Bilal Powell gets 900 rushing yards plus 300 yards receiving, so 1,200 yards in total, and that would be him as the starting running back throughout the year. And also spin zone. You said he's like you said something about him being like a ball or something. You calling him fat? Saying he's out of shape, Ben?
A ball of energy, yes, Kyle.
Oh.
I was calling him fat. That was my meaning.
That's problematic.
Ryan,
what's your take? Your Jet take?
I definitely think Powell's going to be the starter. Will he have that many yards? He has the talent to, but he's never been able to stay healthy for a full season. I could definitely see him getting 1,200 to 1,300, but I do think the Jets are going to use Forte a lot more than people think. I know he's older, but it's still Matt Forte. I think Johnny Morton's going to get. I think Forte's probably going to lead the all backs and catches for sure, in receiving at least. Even though Powell's really good at that.
Did you see him Odell thing today?
Yeah, that was pretty cool.
That was cool.
Even though Powell's really good at receiving, I do think he's going to start Powell, so I think Forte will be more of the third down back.
Ben, you just got bitch slapped multiple times right there.
I was the Chargers defensive back, and he was Sean Green, and he just.
Sorry about that, Ben.
No.
Okay. Ben's got jokes.
Sit down. Now, for a second. So just calm yourself. Ryan, as far as that goes, I mean, you heard Matt Forte talked about it this week that he felt Chan Gailey's usage of him in 2017 or 2016 was odd. How he was running him into the ground, but then on third down where Matt Forte felt he was most effective, but wasn't using him. I agree with you. I think that I agree with you in the fact that I think Matt Forte will be more involved in passing game than he was last year. I think you could see more scenarios where he's flexed out wide as a receiver, goes in motion, goes outside, and then runs a drag route or whatever, or an out or a screen. Or I think the Jets are gonna have more fun with Matt Forte, even though he's an aging back. And then yes, in those short yardage situations, I mean, he's one of those guys where if you watch some of those games. I guess the top one, the few that come to mind is that Ravens game, the first Patriots game. I mean, he was just going up the middle, taking those 2-3 yards, taking hard hits, and those carries are boring. Getting 2, 3, 4 yards of carry is boring, but it's like, I mean, you get 3 yards of carry every time, and let's say you get to over maybe 3.5 or whatever. I mean, you're getting a first down. So, I mean, Matt Forte was getting the Jets down the field slowly but surely. I think he'll be effective again this year, but I think Bilal Powell will definitely be relied on more.
You think it's all that Christian rap that he listens to that keeps him going at this age? Think that keeps him flowing?
I have no idea. Kyle, we were talking a little bit about the rookie wide receivers earlier. So I'll give my take. I'm going to go ahead and say that Chad, and I just did not like this when I said this last week, but I'm going to go out on the limb here and say Chad Hansen will not be that good this year. I think he'll definitely.
That's problematic.
I'm not saying he can't. I'm not saying he can't develop. And maybe he has a touchdown running a streak or something. I don't know. But
so did Devin Smith, so that doesn't mean anything.
Yeah. I mean, I think it's again. Hansen was a fourth-round wide receiver, and I think the Jets will. Yeah, I think he'll be on the roster in 2018 as well. But I'm saying I think he is underdeveloped. I think he's very raw, so I don't think he'll have much of an impact at all in 2017. I'm not saying he can't be a good player. I'm just saying right now. I don't think he'll. I think his route running is not crisp enough. He can really only run one route.
Sorry to interrupt you, Ben. We got a minute left though till the final start. All right, I definitely will be watching that during the show, but we got to make our predictions right now. I'm saying Golden State in 6.
I'll say Cavs in 6.
Oh, you live on the West Coast. You Oh, God, I hate you so much.
I hate the Warriors, Kyle. Kyle.
Yeah, because you're a Portland fan and they smack you like a little girl every year in the playoffs.
So why would I cheer for the Warriors then?
Yeah, I don't know. West Coast dominance? I don't know.
You just said they smacked us like a little girl. Why would I cheer for that?
I root for the Patriots when they play the Giants.
Oh, that's a cold take. Ryan?
Well, it's not.
John, who did you cheer for, Giants or Patriots in the two Super Bowls?
I root for the Patriots.
Yeah, suck it, Ben.
But I also live in New York, so that's why.
Yeah, that is another thing. Well, Kyle, I mean, you don't really have this excuse, but as far as living in New York, I think...
No, there are a lot of Giants fans down here.
If I lived
in
New York, I think I would. I might have a different. I still think I would have cheered for the Giants, but I think I would hate it a little more.
I mean, it was hard either way.
All my cousins are Giants fans. They are annoying, yes, but it's also like we play them once every 4 years. I'm not getting that mad over this.
It's not the rivalry.
I know it's the bragging right?
It's the bragging. I'm sick of them saying Eli Manning's so great. He's not great. He's not a Hall of Famer.
Kyle, you can't argue with 2 Super Bowls. I'm not saying he's great now. I'm just saying. I mean,
bull crap! I can argue with any Super Bowl.
Kyle, he's still producing at a high level.
I could take away 2 of Brady's Super Bowls: Tuck Rule in Oakland, and then the Deflategate, and 2 AFC championships right there that he shouldn't even won. There's 2 Super Bowls right there. I can argue. Giants can suck.
I don't even know what that point was. I didn't even understand. What did you just? Okay. The point is we'll get back to the Jets in a second. I started with Chad Hansen and we ended up here. But my point is
started from the bottom now.
I could give a crap about the Giants. My cousins are all fans. I understand it's annoying, but it's like the Patriots have ruined Sundays for me. They have ruined. I mean, the amount of times that Bill Belichick and Tom Brady made 9-year-old and 10-year-old and 11-year-old Ben cry. Like there was no greater moment as a Jets fan than when the Jets beat the Patriots. I mean, you can go back to that.
Disagree. Strongly
2009 and at home against the Patriots with Mark Sanchez throwing 3 touchdown passes. You could go with the obvious one of the playoffs. You could go 2013 with the weird field goal with Geno Smith, and then this past year or 2 years ago with Ryan. Like every time the Jets beat the Patriots, it's always a nail biter, and it's always my favorite thing ever. They're evil. I don't like them. I respect how good they are. I think Bill Belichick is an amazing coach. When we had him, I hate all the players that Trent, gone from back and forth. I think Brady has fooled himself. Like I hate that entire team. So no, I was going to cheer for the Giants. It really doesn't affect.
Is Brady's wife hot?
If the Giants win, okay, they can brag.
Do I think she's overrated? Am I the only one that thinks that?
Giselle?
Yeah.
I agree with that.
Yeah, I feel like
Ryan,
she's pretty. She's very pretty. I'll give her that. She's not a supermodel. I don't know. I don't know about you guys. That's just my take on it. That's my Jet take. It's a very biased. It's a very biased
I don't know how we
take.
got from Chad Hansen to grading Giselle. This is
Started
Kyle.
from the bottom. Now we're here. That's how, Ben.
Okay, Kyle, stay on track.
We're off the rails. Well, come on, we're long gone.
I'm the one that's off the rails. Ryan, I come off like a straight guy because I'm always just keeping you in line. I want to have no fun.
Wait. What did you just say?
Straight guy. What do you have? Do you have a
problem?
You think I'm talking about you think I'm talking about sexuality here, Kyle?
That could be problematic for you, Ben. That could be problematic.
Is the straight man? Okay, whatever. Anyway, Ryan, look at this job. This is why this job is so tiring. It's because I have to just keep.
Is that why you don't show up for like 8 shows?
Go back to your analyst chair.
Whoa.
Okay. I didn't even hear that.
Ryan heard that.
Your take on Chad Hansen in 2017.
I don't really expect him to have a big role. I'm kind of in the same boat as you. I think he only started 1 year in college, so we have the receiver chart. That chart's already pretty, loaded. Not loaded, but it's talented with a bunch of young guys. So I don't really see him making a role. I think he'll be number 5, maybe 6 receiver. But I think guys like, Peak, Anderson. I even think maybe I kind of like Katie Cannon as a wild card too.
Yeah.
But I don't see Hansen making a huge role. I mean, maybe he could be the second deep threat behind Robbie Anderson. But that's really it for right now, for this year at least.
All right, and Kyle, go ahead and give out your next prediction.
Where did I leave off? Robbie Anderson. All right, so Bryce Petty is our starting quarterback.
That is a bold prediction right there. Oh, boy.
I don't really think so. I wrote an article for Jay about it. He's the most experienced. I think he's a better talent.
Geez, okay. Well, that is actually a very bold take. Ryan, I guess I'll give you the floor first since you're a caller. Your take on Bryce.
I missed.
No, wait,
what,
Kyle. Are you saying
say?
He's the starting quarterback week 1?
Yes.
So week 1, he's the I'm going to go ahead and ask you to give basically another prediction. Does Hackenberg unseat him at any point during the year?
No.
That means you're saying Bryce Petty's going to be good.
No.
Because Kyle, if he's not good, then Hackenberg's unseating him.
I don't think no.
The Jets are in the business of finding out who Hackenberg
Ryan Fitzpatrick started like 7 games last year, so
yeah,
I don't think the Jets.
But here's the thing: is now Hackenberg is in his 7th his year. The Jets.
That doesn't mean anything, though.
Yes, it does. I mean,
that's the problem, Ben. That's the whole thing that people have set up. They did the same thing with Geno. Oh, he was picked in the 2nd round, so that means he's got to be our starting quarterback within.
No,
like,
that's not
2
what
years.
I'm saying. I'm saying, Kyle, here's why the Jets need to play Christian Hackenberg is because you start him. If he's good, he's your franchise quarterback. If not, you draft one in 2018. However,
Same could be said about Bryce Petty.
You're saying Bryce Petty's going to be starting, and you just laughed at me saying he's going to be good, which means you think he's going to be bad. Which means, why are you just sitting Christian Hackenberg on the bench? Who knows?
What do you mean when you say good? What do you mean when you say good? Because I think good. I think Aaron Rodgers and Andrew Luck.
Well, that's a lead.
Aaron Rodgers is good. Aaron Rodgers is the best quarterback in the league right now, Kyle.
That is false.
That is true.
There are 2 guys ahead of him.
And I love how you put Andrew Luck and Aaron Rodgers in the same category.
No. Andrew Luck is arguably the best quarterback in the NFL. He's number 2 in my mind.
Definitely not.
Check for
it's
I think you're playing
Rodgers.
a little too much. Yeah, Brady and Rodgers for sure. I think Kyle, you're playing a little too much Madden there.
Andrew Luck sucks at Madden. Just letting you know.
No, he's actually pretty good.
No, he's actually not. He's the one I threw that interceptions with to DeMario Davis yesterday at his Team of the Week card.
You're just trash at Madden, Kyle. I think that's the issue there. But no,
he doesn't have enough agility. He has like 79 agility. You try to scramble with him, he sucks. Aaron Rodgers is the way player.
Okay, Kyle, bring it back in. But no, as far as a good season, good enough to satisfy that he's your quarterback for 2018. If Bryce Petty isn't doing that, if Bryce Petty trots out there and has the game he had against, I don't know, I guess you can say the Niners because I guess that was his best game, right? I mean, if he's doing that week in and week out, and the Jets, I mean, that's the big thing about winning is the fact that he won that game changed the whole perception of the game. But if he's doing that where he's winning or he's
we're not going to win a lot of games,
or he's throwing, or he's at least looking good. Like Kyle, you just have to.
Who says that Christian Hackenberg's even ready?
Kyle, the point is the Jets aren't in the business of waiting a whole another year starting Josh McCown and Bryce Petty.
McCown's not
they're trying to figure out. They're trying to figure out look, the Jets are not in a position to, as you said, to win now. They're most likely are not going to be a team that's going to make the playoffs. They are most likely going to be a team that will be picking within the top 10, possibly the top 5, and possibly the number 1 overall pick. So
it's a good possibility, number 1.
I don't think that's bad. But Kyle, so if you're saying, you're contradicting yourself. If you're saying there's a good possibility the Jets are picking with the number 1 pick, but you're also going to say Christian Hackenberg doesn't play at all, that would mean the Jets would have to have a worse season than they did last year.
Yeah.
I don't understand your logic here. The Jets said before last year.
I don't think Christian Hackenberg is confident enough to step on an NFL field. It's that simple. I've never thought highly of him.
Kyle, what's the negative part here? What is the risk here of throwing him out there? If the Jets are 1-11, what is the risk of throwing him out there in week 1?
Well, I wouldn't blame that on Bryce Petty. We have a terrible roster. We know that. Bryce Petty.
So if the Jets lose 11 games, you don't think Bryce Petty deserves any fault? So, okay, actually, that wasn't even the question. If Bryce Petty isn't quenching the need that the Jets have to be the quarterback in 2018, like Bryce Petty, in order for him to be the starter the entire year, needs to prove that he can be the quarterback in 2018, which is a long shot. But if I could, I don't
It's a
think
better shot than Hackenberg.
I don't think it's a super bold statement to say that he could be the Week 1 starter. He's definitely a dark horse, but I could definitely see that. But in order for him to be starting in Week 13, and the Jets are 1-11, like he needs to be playing lights out. Now, if the Jets are, that's if the Jets are 1-11. I'm just saying he needs to do enough to show that he can be the quarterback of the future. Because if not, what are the Jets doing then? They're just going to keep sitting around starting him. Throw Hackenberg in there. If he's horrible, you're getting a higher draft pick. You take your quarterback. If he's good, then you have your quarterback in the future. If he's moderate, then you start him next year. Or you bring in you draft a guy at number 10 or whatever you pick. Like, there's no downfall putting in Christian Hackenberg there, even if he's ready or not. If he's
but
not
I don't
ready,
think it's going to be Bryce Petty's fault, Ben. We just suck. I don't think none of these quarterbacks are going to come in and get us 5 wins. Let's just be honest, all right? 1-11 is very possible.
I do not agree with that whatsoever.
Only Josh McCown can get us over 5 wins, and if he even sees the football field once this year, I would be very upset.
Kyle, there is a much higher chance of McCown seeing the football field next year.
Well, then Todd Bowles needs to be fired, like I was saying last year. He's not confident then.
Kyle, you were literally arguing the same point. So, Kyle, what is the downfall to starting? Explain to me, what is the downfall to starting McCown? And because I know the answer, and
we win games.
No, what is the downfall?
There's the downfall.
You're saying we win games. Well, that actually isn't the downfall. Winning games isn't the downfall. The problem is because one, Josh McCown we know isn't that good. Todd Bowles and Michael Cagney aren't stupid. They don't think Josh McCown is better. They probably know that Colin Kaepernick is better.
I disagree with at least one of those guys are stupid.
No, hold on. But the reason they didn't bring Colin Kaepernick is because they didn't want that distraction. As far as the media, they didn't want the fans clamoring for a guy to come in. Josh McCown is your basic white bread, just kind of bad.
Whoa!
Quarterback.
Ben throws out that they didn't want Colin Kaepernick because Josh McCown's white bread.
No, I didn't mean it in a racially way. I meant it as a boring, bland, just kind of.
That's problematic.
Okay, fine, whatever.
I'm just going to keep doing this to you.
Okay, sure, I don't care. My point is they don't think he's that good of a quarterback. They're just bringing him in here to be.
He's better than Fitzpatrick.
No. Last year was a pretty low bar to clear. Anyway, sorry. My point
hard to get worse.
was that we know he's not going to win the Jets 10 games next year. I mean, who knows? I guess Ryan Fitzpatrick did it, but we know his floor is higher than both Petty and Hackenberg. It's a very worse McCown when
by a lot.
I mean, maybe he'll lose more, but with this roster, probably 4 to 5 games. So the problem with starting him is if he's good, your ceiling is probably 8 games, and then your floor is 5 games, 4 games. Now you're picking basically the exact between spots 6 and 10. You're probably not going to get your franchise quarterback there. So the
I'm
Jets
aware of that, Ben.
say, okay, McCown is there to be the backup. You put in if you're saying that Petty beats out Hackenberg in camp, which is a possibility. Okay, Petty goes out there. If Petty shows enough that he can be the starter in 2018, then he should play. Then he should keep playing and seeing how he progresses. If not, put him on the bench, and we'll put Hackenberg in.
What are you classifying as good? Because you said good. What are you
enough?
You've yet to classify what good is, Ben. Like, my next bold prediction is that Bryce Petty throws 63% completion percentage. That's not going to lose him the job, but it's not good. We don't have good quarterbacks.
What's his touchdown to interception ratio?
I don't have that. I would say like 15 to 17.
It's based on watching football. It's watching him play the game.
And Bryce Petty's better.
Again, and depending on his stats, how is he going to look? Are the Jets at least competing in games? Because, look, the Jets can't go 1-11 and Bryce Petty plays lights out. Like, a quarterback is a very important position. If the quarterback is at least playing somewhat confident and showing, and, like, let's say they're all their, bad.
Ben, newsflash, none of these guys are going to give you that.
You don't know that, though. I mean, most likely, I agree.
I'm pretty confident.
There's I agree. There's probably 95% chance that none of these guys in the roster will be the quarterback in 2020. But
yes,
there is still, we haven't seen Hackenberg in the field. We barely saw Petty. And now, who knows how Petty's progressed after 3 years in the NFL and got to start last year.
He's just more talented than Hackenberg.
I do not agree with that whatsoever.
Tell me what Hackenberg
Petty.
Yeah, Ryan, we haven't heard from you in a while. Ryan, what's your take on this?
Second. Yeah, hold on.
I'm more with Ben on this, to be honest.
Thanks.
I don't think Petty can start more than 4 games, to be honest with you. I think Bryce Petty just stinks. And I'm not saying Hackenberg's good, because, the preseason didn't look good for him either. But I'm thinking Hackenberg's second-round pick. I think that McCown's going to start off the first couple weeks, and then they're going to hand it over to Hackenberg for the rest of the season. I just don't see Petty. I think Petty just stinks, honestly. I think it's over for him.
How is he better than Hackenberg?
I agree with that, Ryan.
How is Hackenberg better than Petty?
Hold on, Kyle. Because one, and yes, the Jets did invest a second-round draft pick in him. Second, I mean, we don't know what Hackenberg is. For you to say that Bryce Petty has more talent, that's just wrong. I mean, Bryce Petty
how is it? I had the same conversation on Let's Talk Jets this week.
You just interrupted me to ask how is it. Like, I'm explaining it.
All right, go ahead.
Look, Kyle, Bryce Petty is how many years old? He's 26, 25, 27. I mean, Bryce Petty is not that young, first of all. His ceiling is low. First off, the thing with Hackenberg isn't about potential. Hackenberg has boatloads of potential.
That's a lot.
Right? The problem is how much is it substance. So for you to say talent, like Hackenberg, the thing is you'll see him throw one throw where it looks like he is Peyton Manning. Like he'll throw one that's just a dime. Beautiful throw, powerful arm, can probably huck it 80 yards.
Peyton Manning doesn't have a powerful
arm.
He's
built, he's tall, he has everything going for him. But then he'll have the same throw, same velocity, it'll fly into Brian Costello's hand. Like
it's true.
Like it's not about that Bryce. Like Christian Hackenberg has a lot of talent and a lot of potential. It's about can he rein that in? Can he learn the NFL system? Can he rein that in and put together a solid thing? The Jets drafted Hackenberg, which they shouldn't have done. They drafted Hackenberg based off his potential. Petty, on the other hand,
but there is a potential.
Is a much lower ceiling than Hackenberg has, but probably a marginally bigger, a higher floor. But Kyle, what does that get you? If Petty's mediocre next year and you don't even see Hackenberg, and the Jets finish like you saying, like 2-14, 3-13, like what was the point of that then?
If we're going 2-14, like I think we are,
you can't just assume Hackenberg's not our future because he's kind of bad in practice. You at least need to, and most likely Hackenberg will not be that good. Who knows? But most likely you might be right. And we're gonna wrap this up. We gotta wrap this up with Ryan because Kyle, do you have any other calls in line? Because I still can't see.
No.
Okay, so then we can Ryan tells us we need to go, but I don't even remember where I was at. But basically, the point is, Kyle, is
the coaches are going to have all training camp to see that Hackenberg is not even close to Petty. I've never liked Hackenberg. I didn't like him coming out of college. You know that. I flipped out when we drafted him. I've never seen any potential in this kid. He had one decent year of college football, and besides that, it was nothing. I don't want to hear there wasn't talent, because there was actually talent around him. He had good players around him. All right?
No, he doesn't.
Yes, he did.
Kyle, do you not understand? The Jerry Sandusky bands took away a lot of their top recruits. Hackenberg decided to stay there. I mean, he had no.
He still had good talent, though.
Kyle, who were their offensive linemen? Name one Penn State offensive lineman that has come out in the last 3 years.
John Urschel, Donovan Smith. 2 of them who are NFL starters right now that he's played with.
I was actually very surprised. Hold on, we got to fact check this.
It's true, Ben. I had this conversation on Let's Talk Jets, and they agreed with me by the end of it. If you listened to Let's Talk Jets, you would know. I made this whole thing. He's had Chris Godwin, he's had Deshaun Hall, Allen Robinson, Jesse James. Deshaun Hall hasn't came out in the draft yet. He'll come out next year. He's an All-American. Chris Goodwin, second-round pick. Allen Robinson,
but first of all, Deshaun Hall is now going into his, third year? Like he was a freshman when Hackenberg was there? Kyle, look. Yes,
Hackenberg, he played with Hackenberg.
Kyle, Penn State is a big city. It's a state school. Of course, they're going to have a few guys that are very talented, like Godwin, like James, and those 2 offensive linemen you just mentioned. I will give you props. That was impressive that you named them. But, I mean, think about it. You can't win based off 4 people. The rest of the offensive line. You can go to the defensive side of the ball, the coaching. I mean,
their defense was
listen to people around the organization
James
talk how he hurt Hackenberg's potential or his development. Point is basically the Jets need to find out what Hackenberg is, and if they're not going to do that, they better have their quarterback for 2018.
I think they can find that out in training camp and preseason, though.
No, they can't, Kyle.
Why not?
What is there to Kyle? Just answer this question. Don't go off and off the path. What is there to lose if the Jets are 1-11 starting mediocre Bryce Petty? Let's say Bryce Petty putting up basically the similar type of season that he just had, like the Dolphins game, and that's mediocre. That was pretty terrible. So let's just go a tick above that. Mediocre, and the Jets are 1-11, and we're in week 14 or whatever, because they had a bye. Week 14. What is there to lose by starting Hackenberg the last 4 games of the year?
Not a lot. There's nothing to lose.
Then put him in. If he's terrible, he's terrible. And you're picking number one. If he's good or shows any promise, then you can address another one with your top pick, and Hackenberg's your top pick. There's literally no downfall. I agree with you. If Bryce Petty is even somewhat good, or he shows any sort of promise that he can be the quarterback of the future, you give him all the time he needs. If that is the entire year, you do it. But you're saying he's going to be mediocre. He's going to be I literally said you think he's going to be good, and you're like, no. So it's like, what do you have to lose? Throw Hackenberg in there. If he's terrible, he's terrible. But at least then you're losing again, and you're going to get a top pick. If he's good, you use that top pick on a running or not a running back, a defensive player, an offensive lineman, a wide receiver, running any other position, and you build around Hackenberg. But the Jets need to exit this season knowing either who their quarterback is or knowing that they have none. But there cannot be any in between of, this guy maybe, like, no, I'm not saying that Hackenberg.
I think it's going to be very clear in training camp.
I'm just saying.
That's just my opinion.
But Kyle, training camp isn't the NFL. Training camp isn't an NFL game. Like, you can't figure that out based off of practice. Is it a very good indication? Yes, but there are players who just pop out of nowhere. I mean, that's just happened. It's unexplainable how maybe it's going up against a different team. Maybe it's the game atmosphere getting all hyped up, but some players just play big
the
and
Jets
big
defense sucks.
Look at Tim Tebow. He was terrible in practice, and then he would go out there and be pretty terrible as well. But I'm just saying, you know your quarterback situation's bad when you're hoping for a Tim Tebow. But I'm not saying performance-wise. I'm just saying he's a guy who practiced terribly. Look, Kyle, the point is Hackenberg. The Jets need to know if Hackenberg or Petty is a quarterback for 2018, or if they're not.
David, hold on. We need to bring David. He's texting us. I don't know. David, are you on? Because Ryan's phone died. Because we've had him on for like an hour. David, are you with us?
Yeah.
Oh, see, he's got that Mac computer, Ben. It's better mic than you right now. All right, David, have you been listening to this?
No, I've actually just been eating sushi with the family.
Oh, eat it raw. Oh my God!
Wow.
Oh my God!
Yeah.
Oh, I just made that joke. All right, so Ben will present our case one at a time. I'll go first. Ben, you've been talking for a while. This is my point. I think Bryce Petty will easily beat Christian Hackenberg in training camp. I don't even think it will be close. I don't think Christian Hackenberg has a lot of talent. He's got a big arm. He isn't mobile. He isn't accurate. There's just not a lot to like out of him, all right? This has always been my opinion on it. I've never liked him. So I just think they'll go the full – wow.
What
Man,
is that?
That was his notification because don't act like it wasn't you, Ben. You texted him. It says David.
I didn't know it was going to be like a gun went off, a high-pitched wheeling gun.
Oh, wait, no, you're a liberal. You can't say that word. But I just think they'll go with Bryce Petty because I think Christian Hackenberg will show them once again nothing in training camp and nothing in preseason.
Ben, I want to hear your take on this first.
For God's sakes. Wow, voice crack.
Okay, I thought that was funny. God's sake. No, okay. My point was Kyle said that the original, we were doing predictions for 2017, and Kyle said Bryce Petty would be the starting quarterback for the New York Jets. And I said, are you saying he's going to be opening week one starter? And I said yes. Or he said yes. And I said, will Hackenberg play at all next year? And he said no. And I said, using conclusive reasoning or deductive reasoning,
I laughed and said
that means
I laughed and said to
well.
clarify.
Kyle, a non-Hackenberg believer.
No.
I've never been a Hackenberg believer. Make that very clear.
Guys, this isn't about Hackenberg being good or not. Let me get to my point.
That's not exactly what it's about.
If Petty's going to play all 16 games, he better be at least competent or show that he has any sort of future in this. In 2018, he can be the quarterback for 2018.
He can be bad and
not,
still show a future.
Kyle, if not, and the Jets are playing terrible and he's mediocre, like you just said, then why not throw Hackenberg out there? Kyle, if he's bad, you have a top pick and you can pick a quarterback. If he's good, then you probably still have a top pick, but you can go address another position.
Even
you have
David
your
just
quarterback
said,
in the future.
All right,
Kyle,
neither one of us are going to give ground on this take. I'm not giving
We're
up.
going to go with another prediction. Kyle, we're going to go to another prediction. But David, I will just say this: the Jets, and I said it earlier. This is just the final point. This is the final driving home point. The Jets need to leave this season. David, you can tweet this quote out. The Jets need to leave this season knowing if they have a quarterback on the roster for 2018. They need to know that if Petty or Hackenberg is it. And if not, they need to either know that Petty, and I'm not saying they have to see both, Kyle, because if you're going to say Petty's going to start all 16 games, I say great, because that means Petty played at least good enough to show that the Jets are either A, playing well, or Petty is showing that he can win and that he can be the quarterback in 2018. If he's playing bad, you put Hackenberg in. Maybe he shows some promise for 2018. If not, you go draft a quarterback. Let's move on to the next question.
Okay. Let me say this. Kyle, I see your point, but I'm going to have to go with Ben on this, and let me explain why. Bryce Petty is coming off a torn labrum, and Christian Hackenberg right now is probably the only healthy quarterback on the roster. And you want to say that he actually did nothing last year in training camp is because he didn't have a chance because we got 4 quarterbacks on the roster. So now Hackenberg actually has a chance to compete for the starting job.
What about that preseason game?
Okay. Kyle.
Against the Eagles, he sucked.
Okay, preseason does not matter, Kyle.
But listen, for a rookie quarterback that wasn't supposed to play a game the entire year.
Exactly. And
but why are you drafting him in the second round if he's not able to play a game year one?
That is not the argument here, Kyle.
That's not the argument. That's the fact that Hackenberg's actually going to play this year. And you know what? I think he will get the chance to play.
On an NFL roster surprises me.
Kyle, okay, that's bold, but you're not even factoring in that maybe he improves by sitting on the bench. That's why if he's on the bench, he's not just sitting there taking.
It didn't work for Geno Smith.
Terrible. It's because Geno didn't even sit on the bench.
He did not. Not at all.
He sat on the bench.
Kyle.
No, he didn't. Mark Sanchez scored in his third preseason game. And
behind Fitzpatrick last year.
I wasn't saying that. That was not an argument. The point is the reason a rookie is supposed to sit is because it gives him time to adjust. It gives him time to take in an NFL offense. Maybe Christian Hackenberg has improved. I'm not saying that he's going to be good. I'm not even making that prediction. I don't even know.
But I think are you arguing the fact that he deserves a chance to play this year?
Yes, my point is if Petty is bad, then play Hackenberg. Kyle is basically just saying that the Jets should play Petty even if he's mediocre. And my point is the Jets need to know if
mediocre is not bad. Mediocre is Josh down.
Right, Bryce Petty does actually have the experience of knowing the offense better than Christian Hackenberg, and he has a better understanding of the playbook. Okay, However, Hackenberg will actually develop the understanding.
David, I'm fine with that. Then Petty better be going out there and show, even if he's mediocre, if he has promise to be the quarterback in 2018, or the Jets are winning some games, even if they're 6 and 7 after 2 weeks.
Kyle, what if Petty re-injures that torn labrum?
All right, it's football. Crap happens. Then Christian Hackenberg will be put in. I can't control that.
Okay, well, this is what the Jets need to do. They're going to give Christian Hackenberg more first-team reps. And then once they do that, he'll have a better understanding of the playbook. The reason why I think he sucks, Kyle, is because he hasn't played an actual snap yet, and he hasn't gotten.
He threw 51 he threw 31 passes for 54 yards in preseason game.
Oh, but it's a preseason game. It means nothing.
His first ever game as a rookie. He's now had a year to adapt to the NFL system.
Okay, but that's for everybody else That's for everybody else in the preseason too. It's not like he's playing against the Seahawks defense or something. He was playing against other guys who were rookies. He wasn't playing against great. That was the Philadelphia Eagles.
That he's going to be good. I'm saying the Jets need to at least see. I'm not pointing that he's going to be good, but Jets just need to see at least what he's going to be. We're going to move on because Kyle's not going to change his mind, and David and I are going to change ours. Let's move on to the next prediction, Kyle. Just because we're going to have to finish probably our list on a different episode, but I will. The floor is yours. You can give your next prediction for 2017.
Austin Seferian-Jenkins catches 6 touchdowns.
Oh, that's a positive.
Hey, I tried getting an interview with him. I DM'd him. I'm like, hey, man, love that you're, turning your life around. Love how you're making a commitment. Go Jets. And he read it. He's like, hey, thanks, man. Go Jets, baby. I'm like, hey, I'd love to have you on my podcast sometime to talk about, this upcoming year and stuff. And he left me on red. So, got left on red by Austin Seferian-Jenkins. Is Ben choking on his own words right now? Christian Hackenberg's going to be out. David, can you hear me? David.
Yes, I can hear you.
Okay. Yeah, Ben just left the meeting, so I guess he's having technical difficulties.
Again.
Again. He said he was tired from, I don't know if you heard it earlier. Did you? David, shut off your phone!
It's on my phone. That's the Mac now.
Trash it. Throw it in
That's the beauty of the Mac.
Trash it. Oh yeah, you get a $1,000 computer and you think you're all high and mighty. But I don't know if you heard me, but I completely slapped Ben down earlier. And now that he's back, I'm still gonna say it. But he was like, "Oh, I'm getting tired from carrying the show." Or he said something like that. I'm like, "Oh, is that why you missed 8 episodes?"
I remember that.
I don't think you heard it, but I think you would have laughed if you heard it. That was all right. Well, finals update right now. Breaking news: 2019 Golden State. So that means Javon McGee just posterized LeBron James. Oh my God! All right, off topic. Ben, are you back? Oh, he's muted. He's muted. Ben, are you back?
Yeah. Did you guys kick me?
No, it said that you dropped.
Oh, okay. Continue.
I'm not even really looking at I'm watching the finals right now. Javon McGee I'm pretty sure it was LeBron James. I'm pretty sure. It's hard to tell. That could be problematic. No offense.
Are we talking about the Jets? I'm sorry. So I cut out in the middle of what we were saying, but basically what I was saying was I think the Jets tight ends will definitely play a big role. Seferian-Jenkins, if he can stay healthy, he looks good in OTAs so far. Granted, it's OTAs. I think Leggett has a lot of promise. So I think you'll see both tight ends have success. I don't know if I'd say 6 touchdowns for Seferian-Jenkins. Is he capable of it? Yes. I'll go ahead and say I would say that I think the Jets tight ends will combine for 4 touchdowns.
Ooh, that's not good.
Actually, I'll
that's
say
like a Christian Hackenberg at quarterback.
I'll say combined for 5 touchdowns out of that because I think, I could see. I mean, think about it. The Jets haven't had a touchdown, receiving touchdown by tight end in forever. So I'm thinking maybe Leggett gets 2 and Seferian-Jenkins gets 3, or Leggett gets 1 and Seferian-Jenkins gets 4, or Leggett gets 4 and who knows? I'm just saying. I think you'll see. I think you'll see more production out of the tight end position. But the 6
that would be a good trivia question. Who was the last tight end to get a touchdown? I don't know that answer off the top of my head.
I know the answer. Jeff Cumberland.
Okay, I was gonna say that.
2014.
Yeah.
He
did the whole
Morrow, it would have been close because it would have said Amaro, but he had the one in Miami in Geno Smith's perfect passer game, where he did a weird stabbing motion. The fencing on celebration.
Yeah, he does the Three Musketeers thing with the football where he, oh, I'm stabbing these invisible guys. What's good? So.
Yeah, okay. Anyways, is David still on the line or is David? Is David still on, Kyle, or did David?
David's here. David, go think of a trivia question. All right?
Okay.
No, okay, well, fine.
Yeah, he's muted. He's muted now, Ben. Sorry.
David's trivia question has been terrible recently.
Why? Because I've been getting them and you haven't? It's tied, baby.
No, Kyle, we both got them, remember?
Yeah, but we're tied. You were up 5-2 or something.
Yeah, and then I didn't do the show for a few weeks, and then but remember, we tied last week. Because I got the first one, you called cheese, then you got the second one, and then I got the third one. Or no. I don't know. All I know is we both got one yesterday. I either lost, or either won or I tied with you. But Actually, no, it was a tie because I'm pretty sure we were.
Yeah. Now, one of the questions.
Okay.
Yeah. It doesn't matter, but
We
we're
were
tied.
unsatisfied.
Yeah. All right, so David, see, Ben, give me a bold prediction.
All right, let me go to my little list here.
Is your internet back up? For God's sakes.
No. Well, it is. It's just not working on my laptop. I don't understand how that.
Oh, you got some viruses on there, then?
I have no idea. Oh, I see what you're saying. No. All right.
Hey, you said you were.
I think Sheldon Richardson. What? Okay. I think Sheldon Richardson will be traded. By the deadline.
Do you want me to give you a counter to Sheldon Richardson? Because I also have a Sheldon Richardson take.
Well, so I went back and forth on this one, and this one is definitely interesting. And I was like, I mean, the Jets. I mean, the Jets, as you said earlier, they aren't in the business to win. They're in the business to keep developing young players, young studs. So I think
ultimate Jets move: trade Sheldon Richardson for Alex Smith. Be the ultimate Jets move.
Well, no, I'm just saying. I mean, I think that the Jets could definitely keep him and then keep trying to develop him. But I think the Jets realize that their defensive line is one more effective when it's just two of the three. And I think Mon Wilkerson and Leonard are the ones they're going to go with. Sheldon has been a problem off the field. He's
problem child.
He seems like he's a bit of a problem in the locker room. At least very outspoken. I think the Jets are trying to change the culture. So I think the Jets are. I think the Jets will get.
No talking. We don't let that happen.
Some team, I think, in training camp will have maybe even sooner or maybe during the season will have a defensive lineman get hurt, or we'll just have a lack of defensive linemen, maybe the Cowboys or something like that, and they'll make a trade and they'll give us a second or third round pick. And I think if the Jets get that,
give me Dak Prescott. I'll take Dak Prescott for Sheldon Richardson. Seems fair.
Good luck with that.
Oh, I will give up my first and Sheldon Richardson for Dak Prescott.
And they will decline. Anyway, so what was your take on Sheldon Richardson?
Sheldon Richardson will make the Pro Bowl.
Well, that is much different than what I had. For the Jets?
What? Well, I actually don't know. He could get traded mid-year, so I don't know. But I would assume he plays most of it as a Jet. I actually think the Jets will have a couple Pro Bowlers this year.
All right, well, go ahead. I mean, even though you said the Jets are going to be like 2-14, but
yeah.
Who are the Jets Pro Bowlers? Under 2-14.
Looking at it right now, James Carpenter, Leonard Williams, Sheldon Richardson, and Jamal Adams, and Tanner Purdom.
Tanner Purdom's not going as a long snapper.
Hey.
He's the GOAT, but he's not getting in.
I'm sick of Matthew Slater getting it every year. This is rigged. Tell you, man, all these voting things are rigged.
Wait, so I know, but what was your what was your take again? So it was Adams, Leonard Williams, and who?
James Carpenter, Leonard Williams, Sheldon Richardson, Jamal Adams, and Tanner Purdom make the Pro Bowl.
Oh, so I don't agree with Purdom, and I don't agree with Richardson. I do agree with Carpenter. I do agree with Leonard Williams, and I could see Adams making it. I think Adams has a better chance of getting Defensive Rookie of the Year, but for sure.
Well, I'm sure that would be the Pro Bowl.
Yeah, no, not necessarily. But, no, I could see Adams making it. So I see those three. I don't think Anunua will make it.
I didn't say Anunua.
No, I know. I'm trying to think of other guys. I don't think. I mean, maybe Muhammad Wilkerson. I think Muhammad Wilkerson will definitely. This is actually leading to my next prediction. So we'll do it now. I think Muhammad Wilkerson can have a bounce back year, but I don't think he'll do enough to go to the Pro Bowl, and that's pretty much the only other guys, unless you could consider guys like Mo Claiborne or something.
David, I'm going to make you look like Kathy Griffin's practice doll, all right?
Wah. Look, Kyle, go ahead and before we bring up David here in a second to do the trivia question, let's go ahead and give our some. I have a few more predictions. These are going to be a little faster. I'm going to say Leonard Williams will lead the team in sacks with 12.
Is that a bold take?
And Mahan Wilkerson will be behind him with 8. And I said I don't have Sheldon Richardson on the team. And then I guess, we'll start with that. I'll say Leonard Williams with 12 and Mahan Wilkerson with 8 sacks. So 20 sacks for the combined.
I'll say Wilkerson. 4, Leonard Williams 4, and Sheldon Richardson 8.
I see. All right, well, before we go to David, one more thing. I want to talk a little bit about the outside linebackers. I think Kevin Green will change. I think Kevin Green will bring a lot of stuff out of these outside linebackers. I think Dylan Donahue is going to be a guy that's going to to towards the end of the year.
That's Kevin Green. That is Kevin Green, by the way.
He's white and has long blonde hair. He's aggressive.
And he's been described as a grinder who's not as athletic as you would like him to be, but he's going to work for it. You tell me that's not Kevin Green.
No, I know. I do agree that I think Green and Bowles, but probably specifically Green, probably grew quite a bit of fondness for Donahue. I think he probably saw a bit of himself. I always kind of like when a guy from small school go, because that means they had to work hard to find him. Hopefully they found a diamond in the rough. I think but I definitely think he'll be a guy who will come on towards the end of the year. I think Jenkins will have a breakout year this coming year. I think Lee, I know he's an inside linebacker, but I think Lee will also have a much better year than it was last year. I don't know if it's a breakout, but he will definitely show that he is at least a solid starter and could keep building upon it. But he'll grow a lot. Jenkins, however, will establish himself as our starting outside linebacker and more. And then as I said, I think Lorenzo Malden will go back to kind of what he had his rookie year. I'm the sack master, and then I think
never a sack master. Has never been a sack master.
Not the sack master. Sorry, my bad. I'm sorry, but you guys who can come off the edge and get.
He could be like the Jets team, basically mediocre.
Anyway, so your take on the linebackers? Those are just some basic stat predictions. I'll say one more. So I'll say. I didn't actually give the stat predictions. I'll say Jenkins gets, we'll go 7.5 sacks. Lorenzo.
Oh.
Yeah, I think Jenkins doing pretty well. I say Lorenzo gets 4.5, and I say Donahue gets 4. I say Donahue gets 4, and I'll say Lee gets 3 sacks of his own, and he'll have 90 tackles. I'll say Lee will have over 100 tackles if he can stay healthy, because he was leading the team in tackles before he got hurt.
That doesn't mean much.
I know, but I think Lee will have over 100 tackles, and then I guess if we add that up, that's 7 plus 8, 15. So we said 16 total sacks in the outside linebackers, coupled with my 20, so that's 36 sacks from the front 7 of the Jets. And you have to factor in there will probably be a few stragglers. A David Harris might get a few sacks, or a backup outside linebacker, or another defensive lineman like Lawrence Thomas or Steve McClendon. So I think the Jets' defense will probably have 40 to 45 sacks last year based off of those predictions.
Yeah, actually one of my bold predictions was Darren Lee makes 98 tackles. And I actually have a whole list of linebacker bold predictions, so I'll just go down them. What was that? What was that noise? Is David unmuted? Who unmuted David? David's how? Little sneaky one, isn't he? He unmuted himself. Number 14, Jordan Jenkins makes a big jump year 2. So I think 7 sacks may be a little too high, but I could definitely see 5 or 6.
I said 7.5.
Oh, whoa. Big half right there. We're in Vegas, baby. Number 15, Lorenzo Malden gets cut in training camp. Remember, these are bold predictions. Bold predictions. Just a reminder, folks. Number 16, Jaron Lee gets 98 tackles on the year. Those are all the linebacker predictions that I had, like bold predictions. Sorry if you're listening, Loza. I'm sorry, buddy. They're bold predictions.
Well, all right. Let's go ahead and bring on David, who will give us our trivia of the night.
No, David. Actually, yeah, he's back. David.
Yes.
You have the trivia question ready.
I do. I actually have two ready.
All right.
Double Jeopardy.
So
the first one and then the second
just
one.
in case,
Kyle,
just in case
Kyle.
you two decide to be a-holes and hate this question. So
wait, Kyle, can we just say Kyle, text it directly to David because you keep putting it in the group.
Yeah, I'm sending it to David on here. So.
Okay. All right. And I'm on my phone. All right. So David, fire away when you're ready.
Okay, so before MetLife Stadium, name the other two stadiums the Jets played in.
I got that definitely before that ring.
Okay,
let's see.
I definitely beat that.
I
yes.
sent that at least a solid 5 seconds before that ring.
But it's a matter of when it delivers, Ben. I definitely
Ben's actually right.
Did I get it wrong?
Yes.
What?
Oh, Kyle. Tears of joy. What did Kyle say?
Wait, what are the two answers then?
Shea Stadium and Giant Stadium.
Okay.
Ben, shockingly, you deserve this.
Wait.
David, Kyle, what did you say?
I said Polo Grounds in New Meadowlands. New Meadowlands is Giant
We played
Stadium.
the Polo Grounds in the 50s.
I forgot about Shea Stadium.
In the New Meadowlands is what this. Oh my God.
Do you want another chance at it?
It's just the Meadowlands. Oh, all right. Yeah, no, I was off. That's my bad.
Yeah. Okay.
That's
First of all, the Polo Grounds is where we played when we were the Titans. Then we played
I forgot about Shea
Then we
Stadium.
moved in with the Giants. That was Meadowlands Stadium, and this is New Meadowlands Stadium.
Yeah, I forgot about that.
You missed 0 for 2 there.
Yeah.
That was impressive.
Yeah. Hey, there are two questions.
Just because I don't want Kyle to complain, go ahead and give us the second one. But I'm now 1 for.
It's
1
7
for 1.
to 6.
And
right?
so wait, we'll just say Kyle. Because I think we were tied. Let's just say I'm up 1-0 on you.
Okay.
I feel like you're spinning that to make that sound better in your face.
All right, fine. 6 to 5.
It's 7
Next
to 6.
question. Next question?
Yeah.
Okay. This one's an easy one.
Okay.
What year was the franchise founded in?
Oh.
Got it.
Yikes.
See, that thing, I said got it as soon as I sent it. That was 5 seconds afterwards.
No, that was definitely I have no idea.
I'll guess.
I'll just guess. For, like, the Titans or the Jets?
The Jets.
Titans. Whoa.
Oh!
David, you said this franchise. They're the same franchise.
Now,
You didn't say when did the Jets change. You didn't say when did the Jets change their name to the.
Yeah,
when did
they were.
When did the Titans change to the Jets?
So
No,
Ben was closer. The correct answer was 1960.
No, guys, the correct answer is 1959, David. I know this because the Jets wore a 50th anniversary patch on their jerseys in 2009.
Well, it was 2009 to 2010.
It was no.
David, he's right.
David,
It's 2009, 2010.
Hey, Ben, stop complaining. You're right anyway. Calm down.
I know. I'm just saying because David, it's the 2009 season and it was.
Ben, you're right. Calm down. Don't make me play a soundbite over you.
I muted him. It's okay. Calm down. Everybody, take a deep breath. Deep breath. Jettake brothers, deep breath. He's gonna be pissed that I muted him.
I'm gonna kill that beat. No, hello.
Oh, what were you saying?
Nothing.
Oh, we're gonna have to analyze that one. All right.
Anyways, all right. Well, I like those 2. So I guess we're saying 7 to 5 now, Kyle, since you wanted to keep the old.
8 to 6.
Okay, 8-6. I'm beating Kyle.
Yes.
All right. Well, Kyle, is this where you want to wrap it up, or?
Oh, I'm wrapping. Okay. Yeah.
No. Sorry. I'm wrapping it up. I'm saying if you wanted to add anything else before I wrap it up.
I'm gonna Simba you, Ben. I'm gonna Simba you, and if you don't know what that means, look it up.
Well, is there anything else you'd like to add before we wrap it up?
Yeah, actually. Go ahead, check out my articles on nyjetsfans.com. Wrote one about the trade from today. Whenever you're listening to this, DeMario Davis for Calvin Pryor. Don't know how far this is in the future, or maybe the past. Spin zone. Time travel is invented when somebody's listening to this. I also wrote an article about how this QB competition is exactly the same as years past, and there are absolutely no winners in the end, including the Jets. So go check those out, nyjetsfans.com. They're the two most recent articles, so they should be up there. And if you're in the future, just search Kyle Fahey. Go check out the new episode of Takeoff on YouTube, featuring Drew Greer, Chris Kruger, the boys from Rock Power Report, great guys. They have good things to say about Ardarius Stewart. So maybe when you're listening to this, he'll be a Pro Bowler. Hell, maybe he'll even have a bust in the Hall of Fame by then. We don't know. Ben could, be off the show. We don't know. For God's sakes, David.
That wasn't me. That was not me. That time.
I'm going to kill you. I'm going to kill you.
Silence. Done.
All right, deep breath.
Just moan.
Yeah, just thank you guys so much for calling in today. For Ben and I, until next time, go Jets. All right, I know I just pissed them off big time. I had to. David, anything you want to say?
So because I got a new computer, now I'll be posting.
Oh, he wants to show off. Come on.
Yeah, well, I got a new computer, so now I'm finally able to start posting content again. So check out my special birthday vlog. As you all know, I turned 18 today, and
ready? Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear David.
Cha-cha-cha.
He played his own soundbite. See, that's
I added this a while ago.
Happy birthday, happy birthday, happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, happy birthday.
You done now?
Happy birthday to you.
Turn it down.
Happy birthday. Suck it, Ben.
No. Guys.
I love having the ability to mute him. This is the best thing God's ever given me.
I please don't mute me again. It's pissing me off.
But those of you who send me the birthday wishes on Twitter, thank you guys so much. I will be posting more. And
David,
thank you
shout out your David. Shout out your Twitter and your YouTube at the end there.
You can subscribe to me at Gangrene David. You could follow me on Twitter at GangreneDavid1. You could follow me on Instagram at Gangrene_David. You want to talk Jets with me, you want to talk anything with me, as long as it's not stupid, then I'm right for it. I'm all open to talk to you.
Oh, you're right for stupid too, buddy. Come on.
Be quiet, Kyle. But anyway, thank you for all the support. Go Jets.
It doesn't count. It's senior year. He has a fidget spinner in his hand right now. 4.0 GPA, you kidding me? He has a fidget spinner in his hand.
All right. Thank you guys for listening. My name is Ben Blessington. You can follow us again at the Jet Take. Here with my co-host Kyle Fahey at Kyle Fahey NFL, and David, you just shouted out his stuff. I'm at Ben Blessington 7.
We both have you blocked, by the way.
You're at the Jet Take on Twitter, YouTube, Instagram. We're all over iTunes, Stitcher, SoundCloud, iHeartRadio. We thank you guys so much for listening. We're going to continue with our list of predictions. I still have quite a few more to go through. I think we probably made it through like 5 or so of mine.
I made it through like 20.
Not even, but let's say we made it. We probably made it through a third of our predictions. But we'll keep going with that next week, and we'll probably hope to involve some more callers. I think we got a little off track there with that with that Hackenberg Petty discussion. But again, thank you so much for listening. We really appreciate it. Again, you could, even if it's stupid, you are welcome to tweet at us or troll us on
Speaking
Twitter.
of
We love
stupid,
it. We love interacting with the fans.
I know you're on the phone, but the face that David just made.
All right.
What were you?
All right. And then one more thing.
No.
Okay. Kyle is a little kid, and he's showing it. But I will say I am in finals next week. I'm not sure if I'm going to be here, and I know my attendance has been lacking.
David, me and you. Boom.
My attendance has been lacking, but after next week I will be out of finals, and it should be pretty smooth sailing from there on out. Unless I go on a vacation or something, but for the most part, Thursday at noon next week. So in a week from now, I will be out of school, and we can really ramp this thing up. We have I have a lot of stuff planned for myself and for the show and for Kyle. So I think it's going to be a really productive summer, and we're really excited to get ready for the 2017 season. Anyways, thank you so much for listening. Kyle, can you get the JTS soundbite ready? Because I can't play it.
What was it? What soundbite?
The JTS one. Don't play it now. Just don't play it when.
Oh, no, it's the JETE. JETE. Yeah. That one? Yeah.
Yes. Anyways, we should actually just download that one and just play it at the end of our episodes.
That's what we need to do. Yeah. All right, we're on something.
See, fun stuff planned for 2017. Anyways, guys, thank you so much for listening. We will continue with our predictions as well as any other news that pop up. Again, follow us on Twitter at thejettake on iTunes. Again, you're listening to The Jet Take on iTunes or wherever you're at. We are normally live Wednesdays at 8 p.m. Eastern. Go ahead and call in.
Not sick.
Our number, I never give out the number, and I feel like I probably should, just in case.
515-739-1285, access code 261860 star. We're going to leave you with the best chant in the NFL. We love you guys so much.
Stop. Kyle, my God. 515-739-1285. Enter the PIN 261860 with the asterisk. And my
I feel like you're overcompensating for something.
Kyle, I said that line to you like a day ago, and
but now I'm saying it live, and now you're muted. He's not actually muted.
I'm gonna get off the show. They wonder why I don't come back every week. It's because of this.
We don't want you back. We love you guys.
I'm running a